Hey, this is Jason Kepi from IntelliCore InTouch here with the fifth video in our Social Networking for Parents in Plain English series. In this video, we'll give you some age-appropriate topics to cover, things about social media and the internet to discuss, and we'll even give some solid ideas on setting some ground rules or house rules when it comes to the internet, social media, and your kids. Now, I've got to warn you, there's a lot to cover here in this video, and so this video may be slightly longer than the rest, so let's get right to it. Let's first talk about setting fair but firm boundaries for your kids when it comes to the computer and online activities on social media sites as well as other sites online. Guidelines and restrictions will obviously vary by age group, so that's how we'll cover it and break it down here. Again, Vanessa Van Petten has some awesome information to share here on what she calls the Internet Talk. Here's what she says to discuss at various age groups with your kids. The first age group, believe it or not, is age 2 to 5. Here's what she says. Internet use begins as early as ages 2 to 4. I recently saw my 3-year-old cousin start Safari, open YouTube, and find Dora Explorer videos all by herself. As soon as your child picks up a mouse, you should be having discussions. Here are the topics to cover for this age group. Cover the terms. Go over what a website is, what a browser is, what the difference between YouTube and TV is, the basics of a computer such as a keyboard and a mouse. I would hope, she says, that at this age, a child should only be going online with mom and dad or left in a set game or website. Go over the rules about using the computer with or without mom and dad and what is allowed. And I'm going to add to Vanessa's comment here, and I would just say this: please don't let your child at this age go on a search engine or YouTube without being there. It should go without saying, but I'll say it anyway. It's too risky. Just don't do it. Next age group is ages 6 to 7. This is school age, where they are more likely to want to go online with friends and should be discovering sites like Club Penguin, Webkinz, and their favorite shows on video sites, Vanessa says. Spam and advertising. Parents need to talk about banner ads and those free offers for a trip to Disneyland. They're not real. Explain the difference between an advertisement and the site itself, and restrict them from clicking any ad on any site. Strangers versus friends. Cyber predators are not as common as the media makes them out to be, but they're out there. Talk to your kids about never talking to strangers online, just like they would never talk to strangers on the street. Again, adding to these two comments, I think it's very important that kids have certain sites they are allowed to visit without your direct supervision. Also, they need to know that any site you haven't specifically told them they can visit, they need to ask you before they visit it, especially if they're with friends. And finally, I highly recommend at this age that there are still no Google searches or YouTube searches without your direct supervision. The next age group is ages 8 to 10. Private information. This should also be mentioned earlier but gone over again in detail at this age. Let them know that under no circumstances are they ever to give out any personal information about themselves or a family member unless they ask you or you're there. Searching. Kids are usually searching a little bit on Google and YouTube now. This is a good time to talk to them about thinking before they click and what happens if they accidentally go to a site that's not so good. The next age group is ages 11 to 13. Online friends versus real life friends. You need to talk about house rules on chatting with strangers during homework time and sharing personal information. Also, the difference between a real life friend, someone they can talk to and get to know, versus an online friend who they only know online. Tell them about the superficial differences and the differences in relationships. Cyberbullying. What should your child do if they are cyberbullied or if they see someone else being cyberbullied? The internet has changed the playground bully into the in my bedroom bully. It's true, the line between school life and home life is gone, Vanessa says. Kids can no longer lead the social pressures, cliques, bullies, snootiness, and the other highlights of adolescence at school. Now the social scene follows students home into their bedrooms and can be turned on at any moment. No, in fact, it's never turned off, because you never know who's going to post something mean on your wall next. It is really important to talk about these new aspects of bullying. I bring these issues up with all the kids I mentor and teen groups I speak to. Make sure to discuss with them the ramifications of letting a friend take a sexy picture, disabling the Facebook wall, or what would happen if they got in a fight with a friend. Also, give them resources if they know another student is being bullied. With the recent school shootings, it's important for kids to have a place to anonymously report bullying of any kind. They can do this at www.ancomm.com, ancom.com. Here are some other suggestions if you think your child is being bullied. Get in touch with your local law enforcement or contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Save any and all chat logs, emails, instant messages, website addresses, anything and everything that could be helpful to police. And finally, check your computer for pornographic files and or any type of sexual communication. Remember, internet predators typically meet kids in chat rooms first and then continue through emails and instant messaging. Instant messaging logs can be very easily recorded on a computer. The next age group is ages 14 to 16. Here is where social networking comes into play, and if you need help here, just watch any of the first 4 videos in this series. Talk to your kids about the ups and downs and how to maintain good connections and still share online. Also, online reputation management is important at this age, and the fact that posting things online lasts forever. Vanessa says privacy online is not the same as privacy offline. I have a great way to teach and tell kids about this that I'll share at the end of this video as well. The next age group is ages 17 to 18. Here we're getting ready for Google search from colleges and employers. There should be no bad stuff up there because you've had all these talks, but also beefing up the good stuff. Learn and teach your kids about information overload, tips, and balance. At this age, searching and social networking is most likely free range, but balance and time management is a constant struggle. Make sure your teens know the difference between real friends and online friends before they go to college. Vanessa basically says that Facebook and other social networks are changing the definition of friendship, and not for the better. Social media friendships are fun and interesting for a little while, but superficial and leave you wanting, lacking real friendships. The talk should be constant, Vanessa says. Open communication about these issues is the key to leveraging the internet's highlights and avoiding its pitfalls. Always be there for your kids to talk and be sure to cover all these issues with them.